Welcome everybody to the Breachers VRML Season 1 Week 9. My name is Nightfire with two E's. I'm joined by Gibular Bob for tonight's matchup of Devour Esports versus Aspect. Bob, how are you feeling this afternoon with a pretty hype matchup?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I mean, we saw Devour last week. They played against Infinity, and that was like 86-1 was the vote there. But Devour
Yeah.
ended up tying that match, which nobody expected there. So they are still one player down. They brought back their substitute last week, Sarcastic Warlow, but Aspect, another really solid team. I would call them kind of a giant killer. They lost to Determined Havoc earlier in the season, and they just lost to Formula 3 not too long ago. But they're the only team to have beaten both Acer and Eternity. Acer's only lost once. They're at the top of the leaderboard, and they were beaten by Aspect. And Eternity was just went against Aspect last week, and that was a match that was slated to go way in favor of Eternity, and Aspect ended up winning that. So I'm curious to see what both of these teams are going to do today.
Should be exciting, and especially with a sub being brought in for the side of Devour Esports, may make things a little bit more challenging for them this afternoon as we do wait for Aspects to fully enter up with their roster. It's top matches like these that I'm always excited to get into, and obviously a little bit of me internally is going to be rooting for Phil. Okay, we got to have that caster representation in the battlefield, but I very much hope to see at least a solid back and forth. But Aspect again are that team that really is that powerhouse. You look at that. I mean, they're like you said, the only team that's beaten some of the top squads in the VRML right now.
And Acer and Eternity are both, super tough. I mean, they are at the top of the standings there. For Aspect to have that kind of claim to fame, I mean, yeah, they're certainly a very, very tough team. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of like creator versus caster here. Phil's the caster. They got iBlame over there, who's a creator for the VRML. So it should be pretty interesting battle tonight.
Sure.
First map here going to be Factory. So I wonder who's going to take this one.
Go ahead and give the teams the ready up so they're not waiting on us at home as we do get ready to dive into the action. A Friday night fight. I almost forgot what day it was there for a second. A Friday night fight that we are about to hop into. A shout out to everyone tuning in, enjoying what is going to be an exciting series for us to get into this afternoon. And we'll see if we go the full distance, the best of three, if this partial Devour Esports squad will be enough to go up against the full Aspect roster. With this, we see Faded, iBlame, Gizmo, Jess, and Solo coming in from the Aspect side, and over on Devour Esports, we see the Chosen One, LFT, their sub, Sarcastic Warlow, Filibust, and Tire Tongue. Still a strong team, and if you have a sub that can play with you, it's not out of the pot. It's better than a bot, right? It's far better than having a bot on your team.
Absolutely. Sarcastic actually put in a lot of solid work the last time when they played Infinity. So, yeah, definitely a lot better than having a bot. I mean, the bot, you'd have to. I mean, you can get really lucky with a bot, but it's much better to have that fifth there. Someone who can listen to the orders, and they won't kind of just rush in on some random window and get themselves killed. So I think Devour stands a pretty good chance against Aspect. We're missing one member from them right now, but hopefully we'll get that fifth Aspect in there. We had somebody there before, but I guess they might be having some technical difficulties. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe even a sub. There's sometimes teams will just have a roster, a player holding a spot, so to speak. But we'll have to see what we get this afternoon with that Aspect side of things. These teams, again, pretty close into that top 8 spot. And I think worth mentioning before we definitely get into this matchup is the fact that they're competing for this exclusive gun skin that can only be earned by achieving the top 8 in your region by playing in the VRML season. But then on top of that, what is now over 9,000 in cash and hardware coming in from a variety of sponsors. And so there's definitely a little bit on the line when they play each of these games. I know that Phil has mentioned to me in chats. I'm sure he'll be fine with this. That he feels the pressure to go for those skins. He really wants to achieve, especially with Devour in the running, wants to build the team to be able to compete for the skins that are on the line. And so whether the prize pool is also there, maybe that's a bonus to some of these teams. They want that in-game skin more than anything. But I don't know, Giv. It's certainly the pressure is definitely here when you get into the top 8.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the skin is the ultimate bragging rights for breachers there. I mean, only 8 teams can pick that up. So, I mean, it's just been such a brutal battle for these top 8 positions. I mean, North America right now, you got Acer, Eternity, Aspect, Formula 3, Infinity, Havoc, Wicked, and Devour are the only teams right now to be getting that gun skin. So yeah, there's definitely that element of just pressure. At least for me, there would be. I don't know. I saw the interview for Acer on the channel, and they were all just like pretty cool about everything. Oh yeah, we're #1 team. Oh yeah. Yeah, pretty good.
It's an interesting perspective. And we got another interview with Eternity coming up that should be releasing Monday, just like the Acer one did. And that one, it's almost like they're polar opposites. It's like opposites attract somehow. These two top teams that have played each other are so different. Eternity is so different. They all wanted to be on camera in comparison to Acer, who didn't want to be on camera. They wanted to go, and it's just it's an interest, but in their organization like polar opposite to Acer. It's a very interesting insight into how you can how the other way to be a top team. Is to the organized sort of, not so much. What was it? I said at some point in the Acer interview, they were like chaotic. It's chaotic, but it's not like chaotic and neutral. It's just like they're somehow playing together, but it's still, there's no prep, and it's all just kind of like by feel and game knowledge, as opposed to really having a team plan maybe to some degree, but still a great team, and at the top right now. So who knows what the perfect formula is to be the best in breachers. But we're getting into the gameplay now, diving in to round 1 and breaching in to the top floor of Factory to kick things off.
Yeah, we got Jess solo moving over into lockers right now. Very early frag toss from Philibus. This Aspect over here on the offense, they're droning into Site B very early. There's a flash from Gizmo, Chosen One, Sarcastic, both in Site B, getting ready to challenge that, and here we go. We got a breach through the cubby right now. As Faded looks to get that EMP planted. Solo finds that kill on LFT as Tyron takes out I Blame My Aim. Jess taking out Sarcastic. We see Jess finding 2, looking to pick up a third. It does! Finds that third on Philibus. It's now just down to Chosen One, the last member of Devour standing. Finds 1 on Solo, looking to pick up possibly some more kills, but here's the problem. We're just finding a 4th. What an explosive start for Aspect there.
Quite a pistol round. The Devour squad going right in to the action, clearly with a plan in mind. On terms of that flank on the backside, LFT trying to push in, Aspect playing quick as they normally do on offense as well. And yeah, let's go back to that replay of that entry in with the kill over the top from Jess, and then the triple to lock in the EMP plant. That's just good, clean coordination. That's a team that knows what they're doing. They know you're going to plant here, and and the guy that's planting, they're not focusing on the fact that 3 players have just died to their side. They're focusing on getting this little wave to tick in the right direction. It's really just a good bit of delegating the responsibility, and it requires trust.
Absolutely, I was about to say, yeah, I mean, you have got to be relying on your team there, and it can be difficult for some other teams to do that because you're putting so much faith into something that's happening, like right next to you. But Aspect, I mean, that shows just how much of a top tier team that they are, that their players can trust each other enough to get that job done so that they can get the EMP planted. We see a breach in orange vendings right now from Aspect, but nobody's going to challenge that kitchen hatch. LFT over in Site A at the moment as Aspect just kind of hanging around in upper orange. Here comes the breaching foam on the wall. That's from Solo. Gizmo tossing a frag way into the back of Site A, finding the kill on LFT. That's Faded who picked that up. That frag just kind of force faded out of there as Aspect, oh my goodness, Solo on 1 health, getting shot quite a bit. And I wonder what the play is going to be here. We see Gizmo getting that EMP planted in kitchen. Chosen One getting ready to swing out. Sarcastic might be first, though. Faded finding 1, finding 2 with the Spectral. And it's now a 2 versus 5, just down to Filibust and Tire Tongues. Filibust looking for some shots with that Jesper, but it's just a tough challenge here because I Blame with the Vezin picks up the kill on Filibust. Now just down to Tire Tongue, who's all the way over in assembly right now.
Aspect came in to fight this round, the full buy off of their last round win, not sparing a dime except for Faded, just in case they lost this round out of, they really fumbled the bag, so to speak. Aspect will be able to pick up a rifle, and there's a nice pickup for Tire Tongue. Could have maybe grabbed that rifle and dropped back, but they'll take the 1 kill and count that as a positive because it is 3 rifles against what was 5 pistols, and in some cases with Phil not even buying into anything, just going with the default pistol out the gate with no attachments. So it's a bit of an eco round on the Devour Esports side, but to even find a kill is pretty solid. If they had just gotten Faded down on the stairs at the halfway point in this round, it could have really been a solid bit of damage done. Regardless, though, we go into this next round with Aspect taking that 2-0 lead. Now it's time for Devour Esports to buy. Aspect do get all 3 of their rifles through to the round, so their investment carries through, so they're looking very good for the foreseeable future of this first half. And Factory winning your attacking sets, that's not too out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I mean, what we're seeing here, the strategy from Devour, they double ecoed at the beginning so that they could buy a little bit more in this round. And not the worst call to make. I mean, I think they were expecting, okay, Aspect going to pick up Vezins on round 2. I mean, who wouldn't in this case scenario? So
like how many is the question?
yeah, how many? And, Aspect picking up 3 Vezins. So I think it was the right call for Devour. As we get ready to enter this 3rd round here, Faded taking out that orange storage barricade. Here comes a drone from Aspect. Now, challenge 1. Chosen one, excuse me. As Phil tossing that frag out, we see Chosen One look to peek up there, and Phil, he didn't find anybody. Phil got tagged a little bit. As Faded looks to challenge that door. Here comes Solo, tossing his smoke in, his I Blame with the frag on Philibus. A flank here from Assembly, just taking out LFT. As I Blame finds a very nice pick on Chosen One. Tire Tug takes out Solo. It's now a 2 versus 4, and this is starting to look a little bit rough for Devour here. They wanted to pick up this 3rd round, but it might not happen right now from this 2 versus 4 scenario.
Aspect is just flying in, and as they do, a team that has beaten some of the best so far in the regular season is absolutely barreling into the objective point, getting that EMP down with cover over the top, good coordination, and a great eye from Tire Tongue to identify the camo at that range, find the headshot no less. 1v3 with 3 HP on Jess. Jess is really just watching the backside, so if it's a double kill for I Blame and Gizmo, there's a path for Tire Tongue in the 1v3 opportunity here. Do you take it, though? That's the question, Gib. Maybe just holding on to the Vezin is the right choice.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is not a scenario where you want to really push up because, you can kill the members of Aspect, but in order to win the round, you have to defuse the EMP because they planted it. And that was just kind of the situation there for Tire Tongue. I mean, just not enough time to kill those Aspect players and go for the defuse. So I think all things considered, it was the smarter bet to just hold on to that Vezin, and Devour are going to have an extra little bit of advantage heading into round 4 here. They need to pick up something. They need to find, throw something at the wall and find what sticks.
Yeah, I don't know if you have Tyre invest in another Vezin themselves with their cash flow coming out of that round alive. Maybe you get 2 Vezins and Omen. It looks like they may just throw some utility and the Omen there on the LFT. So another partial buy here for the Devour squad. Maybe banking on just trying to get 2 rounds on defense locked in. Just so they have that cushion going into their offensive set, and then trying to replicate some of this offensive success that Aspect have been having here. But the pace is very fast, Gib. Aspect are really flying into these rounds without really wasting much time.
These hyper-aggressive teams that are just really fast with their pushes are some of my favorite to watch because it's just non-stop action the whole time. We see I Blame up on the storage hatch right now with that EMP, just watching that as well. Here comes a drone from Aspect and Solo, just watching the blue hallway. Actually, that proximity alarm gonna spot Solo for Devour. Jess finding a kill on Sarcastic, who takes out Jess, gets a refrag with the frag. Tire Tongue finds Solo, but Chosen One takes themselves out with an incendiary Eye Blade, finding the kill on Philibus as LFT now refragging. It's a 2 versus 2. It's down to LFT and Tire Tongue against Faded and Gizmo. Here comes a flashbang as Gizmo finds one on Tire Tongue. LFT takes out Gizmo with that refrag. It's now down to Omen versus Vezin. Faded, finds a great headshot onto LFT there, and that cloaking device was really just kind of the nail in the coffin there for LFT. It just slows down that reaction time, even if just a little bit. It was enough for Aspect to get that win.
Oh, so close. That would have been a massive foot in the door of the comeback in the front half of this map. They really could have probably potentially tied 3-3. They had the path forward there for that off of that round, which would have been, I think, unexpected, frankly. I don't think Devour Esports were looking to take that round. It went well for them. The nades, the Vez, and the Omen really standing out and doing good work inside of the locker room, but a net positive, honestly, off of what their investment was for them. They kill 4 out of 5. That gets more cash into their pocket. They do have the full buy here in this round, and they'll have it again if they lose in round 6 because of that lose consecutive loss bonus coming in.
Yeah, it's all about, that eco game here for Devour. They're trying their best to kind of predict where this is going to go and spend money accordingly. And of course, that really helps them out here because they're shutting down a little bit of eco from Aspect. Even if, you're forcing a player to buy another Vezin, I mean, you're still forcing them to buy another Vezin, even if they have a ton of money. But we do see Gizmo right outside of Printers, Faded droning out the orange vendings now into lockers, just looking for any kind of Devour Esports roamer. Actually, nobody from Devour is upstairs. You do have LFT downstairs over by the orange half of the map. Now moving into lobby, we see Solo over in conferences. Aspect making their way into site B. There's a frag that might find Gizmo. It doesn't. Not quite, but it does get Gizmo down to 22 health. LFT now on the move, looking to find a good flank onto Aspect. There's another frag by Devour, finds Solo this time. Jess does take out Philibus, but here comes LFT on the roam, looking to find a possible kill in conference here. Sarcastic taking out Gizmo as Jess finds Chosen One. Solo takes out Sarcastic, looks to check the flank there. LFT is about to round the corner. Solo, they just barely miss each other. Tire Tongue takes out Jess. It's a 3 versus 2. LFT finds the kill on Solo. It's now a 2 versus 2. It's down to I Blame, My Aim, and Faded, who, I Blame outflanking LFT, flanking the flanker now through the exact same route that LFT was taking. Tire Tongue finds the kill on Faded as it's now a 2 versus 1. Can I Blame clutch this up for Aspect? The best case scenario right now, Nightfire, is for Devour to get two rounds in their first half and go into the second half, giving themselves at least a little bit of margin for error.
I blame working their way in here, and yeah, this could be the big foot in the door, and it is. Tired Tongue locks in at least one of potentially 2 rounds, and there's no guarantee that that second round's coming in here by any means, because you look at Aspect's economy, they're fine. There's no damage done. They've been winning all of this time. If anything, it's almost concerning of what the economy looks like for Devour Esports. Even after a win, you know, they had so little cash. Sometimes not getting that 3K off of a loss can hurt. But hey, they're looking fine. Full buys apiece for both teams, and we're going to get another fully competitive round here. But what a... I don't know. Is this going to be enough? If they can get one more, what does the Devour Esports offense look like? This is a team that challenged Eternity. They also were able to challenge some top squads. They tied against Eternity and went against those connoisseur votes, which were 90-1. If I understand, if Phil is reporting me the correct data, he may be biased. Maybe he's hyping the numbers up. Okay, I don't know. All right, but I trust our casting. I trust my casting cohort behind the desk and on his stats. And if that's the case, then they're a team that can compete here, just like Aspect can. So Aspect cannot stop the pace. They have to keep their foot on the gas and continue what they've been doing here with all this very fast-paced pressure. It feels like maybe they've slowed up just a bit, but even then, not really. They're still flying into these rounds as we dive down the hatch and look for a combat into the locker room.
Yeah, here comes Faded, getting tagged a bit by that crazy double frag we saw from Aspect. Jess finding Chosen One, very nice quick pick from Aspect there. I mean, yeah, they definitely had more eco to play around with over on Devour. There's no reason for them to save, so I think they were content with what they bought here, but they need to pick up a second round. Otherwise, Aspect would be putting them in the danger zone in the first half. We'll see what happens here. They challenged Infinity, but Tired Tongue taking out Gizmo here. We see Jess over in blue vendings at the moment, possibly looking to go through that wall over to site. Hey, yeah, Solo with that breaching foam. Here comes a 2-prong, one from Cubby, the other one going to come from that blue vending side as Devour expecting that kind of push. Tired Tongue blind firing over the partition, finds the kill on Faded as Sarcastic taking out Solo with an incendiary. You don't see that too often in these pro games, and here we go. 4 versus 2. It's down to I Blame and Jess. Have Devour found some momentum? It certainly looks like it as LFT taking out I Blame. Now just down to Jess, who's over in that smoke right now with that cloaking device. Gonna have to 1 versus 4 this. Jess finding the kill on Sarcastic. Is Devour going to push up? We'll find out. The EMP down over in, I think, storage right now, but 1:20 left on the clock. And Jess has to take out LFT, Filibust, and Tired Tongue. We could potentially see a two-round comeback from Devour. Again, that would be their best case scenario right now, but you know, you never know what's going to happen. Jess might find some very, very nice kills. LFT testing their luck over at blue vendings, and Jess here probably going to wait for that cloaking device to push the angle there. Filibust now has an idea of where Jess is. We see Tired Tongue in the back of sight A behind that cabinet, and Jess doesn't really have too many options here. Tired Tongue finds the kill on Jess. Very well played for Devour. They didn't push up into Jess and Feeder, pointless kills. So we'll see what happens on this second half.
We swap sides, reset economy, and Aspect get a chance at defending factory. Random locations on where the bomb is placed as we get into round 7. And yeah, just another pistol set. An interesting sort of note, I think, not to spoil the Eternity interview, but I think mentioned in the Eternity interview that'll be coming next week, was the discussion around pistol rounds and how they're the favorite round of some players, just because it's the most even that you can really get in the game of Breachers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that would be my guess as to why they like it, you know, because it's so even. Again, I mean, you get the same kind of selection of guns, and it really brings out a test of player skill here. And speaking of skill, let's see if Aspect has the skill on defense to close this out against Devour. They lost 2 towards the end of their first half. I wonder if they'll be able to keep up this momentum on Devour.
Oh,
They're now on
goodness.
a different side. We see Solo challenging that orange hallway window, looking to find a kill on one of them, but doesn't take out anybody. On Devour, we see Gizmo almost finds the kill on Philibus. Not quite. Frag or some kind of grenade is tossed over into the orange hallway. Faded with that frag in orange storage right now. There's a trip mine on that door that might create a few problems for Devour. But currently, Devour just kind of playing their time wisely, not pushing up and doing anything too crazy. I'm not sure what the plan was there for Gizmo, who just ran over to that upper orange window, but I think tried to find a possible spot or a kill on Devour, and we see LFT now making their way into Printers. Solo finds the kill on Sarcastic as LFT on the move through server may pick up a flank here on Gizmo. I'm not sure if Aspect is expecting this flank. Here comes LFT about to swing on Gizmo, who's not looking, finds that kill on Gizmo. Solo might turn around here. LFT at the top of the stairs, finding two. Very nice double kill from Devour. Faded is taken out by Chosen One. It's now just down to Jess and I Blame. A 2 versus 4 right here. As we see Jess currently playing center, looking to back up into the connector in receiving, but just barely escapes. I Blame now looking to find a kill and does take out Chosen One. Looks to find a second. It takes out Phil. It might be even now. As here we go. Jess taking out Tarek. It's now just down to LFT and Jess finding the kill. And what an incredible round from Aspect. It came down to I Blame and just there to hold down the fort. Great teamwork from the two of them there.
A round filled with back and forth, and what a huge disruption to what is the path forward for Devour Esports. To not have that pistol round means you're now going to see big investments on the side of Aspect on defense. They're looking to take 6 and then have that full buy round be the round they win this map on with round 7. So there is a real foreseeable future of a map win with the Aspect squad just off of taking that pistol round. If it goes the other way, you're looking 4-3 pistols into the hand, rifles into the hands of Devour Esports. It's a completely different story, and the comeback is just a round away for Devour. So a tough one to lose there, and ultimately because they had control. We go back and look at that last round replay there. The multiple kills by I Blame getting picked up as they just fly forward up into these doorways, the broken hole in the wall, Jess finding a kill on the backside, and Aspects now are just 2 rounds away from taking the first map. But let's look at the KDs, okay? Let's take it all in before we get into the action here. And you'll see, look at Devour, there's a double-digit killer there with Tire Tongue picking up 11 kills on 3 deaths. That's a huge performance.
Absolutely. I mean, definitely don't count Devour out here yet. They have been backed into a corner here, but I think from what I'm seeing is that they are not concerned about this round, and they are going to double eco here to try and tie it up instead of going for the win. We see just picking up LFT, and I Blame finds the kill on Tire Tongue. Very nice double kill there from Aspect, and really impressive coordination. We see Filibust over by Blue Vendings, Chosen One watching Blue Stairs, and Sarcastic. I mean, they're just keeping an eye out for Aspect, waiting for the push. Gizmo pushes up, and Chosen One will find that. Solo now pushing up to the bottom of Blue Stairs. I mean, if you're Aspect here, I don't know if the play is to push up on Devour here. I mean, you could really just play back on the sites and wait for Devour to burn all of their time and get forced to make a move. Now, this isn't what Aspect is doing right now. Solo find a kill on Sarcastic, picking up 2, and I was completely wrong as Faded finds Chosen One. And wow, that really worked out for Aspect there, picking up those kills on Devour to give them match points in this second half.
Looking good for Aspect, and ultimately Aspect really playing strong here. This is the team that looks like a squad that can beat Acer in Eternity. It really is. They are not afraid to just go after their opponent. Maybe we got to interview Aspect next. I don't know. We have to. I think we're gonna put a forum out for people that want to get interviewed first. But I'd love to get sort of the what is this? How does this team operate? Are they practicing in scrims and focusing on certain things, or is it again just the game knowledge? You know, like hey, what is the path to being number one? Because maybe there's more than two. You know, to be that maybe there's a middle ground too, where you have some chaotic players, some organized. I guess I suppose that's how Acer really does operate, right? They're not just pure chaos. They have their team captain in Taquito. That's key. That herds the cats, as I said in the interview.
Yeah, I mean, there are many ways that a team can be number one here in Breachers. I mean, yeah, definitely got that organized chaos from Acer.
That's it, organized chaos. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. You got that, extreme organization from Eternity and Aspect. I mean, they're just very good at the way that they play here, picking up those frags that they need to. They play back when they need to. They push up when they feel like they can win. They're a very good judge of what they need to do in order to pick up a round win against their opponent. They've made very good judgment against Devour Esports here in this first map. There's only one round left before Aspect picks up a win. We see Jess getting hit through that orange storage wall, not quite finding the kill. Filibust is upstairs, right in the upstairs, site B. That's what I'm thinking of. As we see Gizmo over in receiving along with Faded and Soul. Here comes the hatch play from Killbox. I think that was a red herring from Filibust at the moment, though, who looks to rotate back over to orange storage. We see Tire Tongue trying to find some shots through that wall, instead getting shot through the wall. Gizmo with that Knut as Aspect are just kind of playing back again, not pushing up way too much on Devour. They think that their best advantage here is just to wait until Devour comes to them. Here comes a breach through the orange hallways. Jess finding a very nice headshot on Sarcastic Filibust with the refrag. However, 4 versus 4. Gizmo taking out Phil with the Knut. Solo finds the kill on Chosen One. And it's now, oh my goodness, Faded taking out Tire Tongue. It's now just down to LFT, the last member of Devour to hold things together in this first map. Wonder what we're going to see from LFT here. It's definitely going to be a tough challenge to bring this back.
1, can't get 2, 3, or 4, and it's the first map into the pockets of Aspect. A hard-fought victory, and ultimately a very clean one by a team that's come to play this afternoon. Factory going into their hands. Where do we go from here is what Devour have to be thinking about right now. They have to shake this one off and refocus. And ultimately, maybe don't shake off too much of it. Look at the KDs again there. There's not a bad amount of kills coming in from Devour. They're fighting every one of these rounds where it's coming down to 2v1s, 2v2s, 3v1s, these comebacks that are coming. You know, it's ultimately, however, Aspect locking it in and winning in those final moments. So a thrilling map number 1. What happens with map 2? That is the big question mark. And while we wait for map 2 to get prepped for us, a quick shout out to our sponsors that do contribute into that 9,000 plus in cash and hardware. Those sponsors include VR Cover, our newest addition to that sponsored team. They offer fantastic hygiene products that helps really enhance the comfort of any of your VR devices. We have a code right now you can use. I believe it is, oh gosh, I had it, but now I don't. I want to say it's Gib will look it up. It's in the list. It's somewhere in the shout out list. But we have a coupon code for Quest 3 products as those are coming out now and in December. So keep your eyes peeled for some more VR Cover products around Quest 3 as well. But
I got it for you. It is
yes.
VR Cover Q3.
Thank
for
you.
Discount on Quest 3 products. There you go.
I knew it was something Q3 related. We appreciate them and their support and entry into the sponsored team. We also sponsored by HyperX, offering fantastic products like the ProCast, the Cloud 2s, and a variety of other products down to keyboard and mice. We really do appreciate their support. They help with the production team and supporting some of our casters, as well as offering up in hardware into the prize pool. So a big shout out to them. We're also sponsored by Helga, the esports manager. It's a bot that's made by VRML players for VRML players, and it helps you organize matches from scrims to league matches. It's a really great tool. You can get your first month of the subscription service for free by joining their Discord. We're also sponsored by ProTube, one of my favorite sponsors and long-term sponsors for VRML. They help stabilize your aim in-game with the ProTube, the MagTube here with magnetic cups on the bottom of the controller that snap in to the stock that helps stabilize your aim off your shoulder. We're also sponsored by, of course, Triangle Factory, the fantastic team that helps develop this game. We really appreciate their support all the way down to the 2 skins that are going to be going into the game, VRML related. One you can buy with credits, and one you can only exclusively earn by getting into the top 8 of your region. That's what these teams are fighting for as we get into round 2 of the action on Hideout.
And who wouldn't love their own top 8 skin? Yeah, I mean, that's the bragging rights there. I think these teams might be playing more for the skin than they are the prize money.
Oh, I could show you the skin, Gib, and you would start creating a team to play and try and get into the top 8. Okay, it's the design we've cooked up, and hopefully that will get implemented in with our collaboration with Triangle Factory. Looks really cool, at least in our initial design phases, right? Of course, we're still in the process of creating these, and when we have a tease that we can release, we certainly will. But for now, at least, I know what we're hoping to create. It looks really cool, and I think we'll be able to make something really worth fighting for when it comes down to it, and really will be a distinction of you as a player in the VRML. So again, really happy with what we've come up with, and hopeful to see what we see as we get into the action and some health bars start to get chunked down in our pistol round.
Yeah, Solo getting hit early there as Aspect starting on defense over on Hideout. Chosen One way up on the planter there as Philibus takes out that static field emitter. LFT finding the kill on Gizmo, looking to pick up another, but just kind of backing away from that angle. Much better start for Devour here. They take out Gizmo early. Found a lot of damage on Solo as Aspect don't have any kind of support or recovery item. Chosen One just still on that angle on the planter here. Devour seem to have the strategy that they're going to try and set the pace of the round instead of worrying about Aspect rushing them with some of these crazy strategies they've had. I blame picking up the kill on Philibus, gets refragged by Tire Tongue. And it's now a 4 versus 3 as Devour looking to make their move on Kitchen right now. Faded behind that Kitchen island, but this could be rough for Aspect here. Their player down. Solo's, dead in one hit. Although Sarcastic getting tagged by that Spectral of Faded, almost getting taken out there. Sarcastic on 8, Tire Tongue on 17. Faded has been hit, taken out by Chosen One. As Solo over in the pantry right now, it's a 2 versus 4. Faded did some work there, but it's time for Aspect to do the rest of the work. Just finding one on Tire Tongue. Ooh, getting tagged a bit by Sarcastic, who's just up on that table, making things difficult. LFT takes out a Solo. It's now just down to Jess. So 1v3, this looks to push out. Tries to find the kill on LFT, who picks up the kill on Jess instead. Very nice opening from Devour Esports. And this could seriously help them in the first half here.
It really could. This is definitely a momentum swing, and like you said, and I thought exactly the same thing, Gib, just with the start of how they broke in and wasted no time, this Devour Esports team is maybe trying to replicate a little bit of what we saw Aspect find success in on Factory just a map ago. Whether that's their style or it's just coincidence or they're really trying to adapt to their surroundings, that's to be seen, I suppose. But I like to think that it's more their style, and then maybe they're really coming in refocused on this new and fresh map. Their chance to set the pace on attack where they don't have to necessarily wait for a team like Aspect to push into them when you're on defense. Obviously, that dynamic, something we don't really talk about a lot, but the pacing is in the control of the attacking team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, they're trying to slow down the round here over on Devour. They kind of slow it up, speed it up in portions, which looks to be throwing off Aspect a bit. So I think they're trying to they started on the offense because they found something that was starting to work against Aspect, and so now they're just trying to keep pushing that advantage and trying to pick up more rounds as we see Chosen One finding Faded. Very nice flank watch from Devour. Chosen One kind of all alone with the EMP. I'm not sure how I feel about that in case that EMP player goes down very early, but it is what it is, and Chosen found that kill on Faded, which really, really helps out Devour here. I blame over in storage at the moment is Chosen. Tire Tongue over in the courtyard along with LFT. There's Foam on the gym wall. And Devour getting ready to make their move. There's the breach. They've got a very nice angle there. LFT looking for a kill possibly on Jess. And we see a big eco from Aspect. They didn't buy way too much into this round. A frag toss way in the back. That's not going to find Jess, but I Blame picking up a kill on Sarcastic. Very, very nice frag. I think I Blame went bowling there and found one kill. We see a smoke tossed in by Philibus as LFT taking out Jess through that smoke. I Blame pushing up into the smoke as LFT definitely noticed that. I Blame looks to find a kill on Phil, but Phil picks up that kill instead. It's now just down to Solo and Gizmo. Solo currently over in storage as Gizmo making their way through the boiler room, and they're both just kind of anchoring on site, being not really too much they can do right now against 3 vessels, but Solo finds one, looking to find a second, finds 2. Could we potentially see this comeback from Aspect here? We see Tire Tongue getting hit.
Oh my!
It's now just down to Chosen One. Chosen One finding the kill on Solo. It's just down to Gizmo to clutch this round up for Aspect. Gizmo looks to find some shots here. Chosen One watching that bump. So Gizmo doesn't have too many options to go. Finding some shots on Chosen One. Chosen One is so... He has to go for the mag change, but Chosen One is on 4 health, and Gizmo finds the kill on Chosen One. An incredible clutch by Aspect, and wow, what an exciting start to map 2 here.
Tied up 1 apiece off of a round that was in their hands for Devour Esports. They came in strong with an early pick. They've continued to maintain that player advantage going all the way into the point where they push, but suddenly... Was it Jess that finds all of these kills on the inside corner there? Or no, Solo. Yeah, Solo swinging back and forth and back and just really disrupting the Devour Esports pace, momentum, how they were going to breach in, completely shutting down the play to go for the EMP plant. And ultimately, Devour just get chipped apart one at a time. And a quick look again at that replay at the end, a big clutch play around that B bomb. What a good bit again of that display of back and forth, but this time from Gizmo, the whole Aspect team. Maybe that's it. Again, this Aspect team clearly displaying their knowledge and understanding of the core mechanics and the ability to execute around them.
I mean, I was getting nervous just watching for Aspect. A very nice clutch for them as Solo taking out Chosen One. That's got to be a bit disheartening for Devour. It looked like they had that round in the bag, but they just kind of pushed in, fed some kills there. LFT finding a kill on Faded as it's a 4 versus 3 right now. Devour possibly starting to lose a bit of their momentum. We see Tire Tongue over on that balcony. Nobody else right now with Tire Tongue, who's just kind of waiting there for the rest of Devour to show up. LFT, Sarcastic, making their way. Jess tucking right inside of Family Room. If they don't, they don't have any kind of drone over on Devour. They have no idea that Jess is there. And we could see a very, very nice pick here from Jess. If Devour decides to go that route into, oh no, the trip mine there might actually save Devour some players. They weren't going to push in there because of the trip mine. That took away the pick from Jess's. Solo finding Tire Tongue, and it's now a 2 versus 4. I mean, is the play here for Devour to salvage the Vezin and the heal? I'm not quite sure what it is right now. I would probably save, but that's me, and I tend to be a little bit more conservative. LFT finding Gizmo, still just tucking in that corner here. And yeah, I don't know. It looks like it looks a little more doable now for Devour. They still have to take out 3 more Aspect players who are pretty dug in solo over in Family Room right now as LFT just heading downstairs, rotating over one cylinder. Aspect finding solo. This could happen. It's just down to a 2 versus 2. Sarcastic putting in some very nice work with the Knut here. I wonder what is the play for Devour.
Yeah, it's very much waiting on the Aspect aggression. Aspect cannot hold themselves back. They have to go on the hunt when they're on defense, and it's showing here. And maybe Devour is starting to read this a little bit after playing them so much, as we do get a push up from LFT. A must kill here. They swing out. Sarcastic goes down, and the double comes through for I Blame, and Aspect put another one in the books.
Yeah, I think you were really onto something there. I think Devour is starting to realize that the play here is to play for picks against Aspect. They're getting very aggressive on the defense some of these rounds, and it's hurting because they're just kind of feeding extra kills to Devour. But right now, Aspect had a very solid double kill from I Blame there. They're one round ahead of Devour here in the first half. We're on round 4. Only 2 rounds left in the first half. We're seeing Vezins from Aspect. We're seeing Vezins from Devour. It looks like it's going to be a pretty even battle in this round.
It does indeed. The full buy coming in here from both sides, round 4, and you know, it just takes that round 2 win to come through to the other side for the normal meta economy to go haywire. You know, when you tie 1 apiece, it's like, oh God, well, you know, how many kills? Where's the money? Well, you know, how do I don't have a stacking, you know, loss win coming. You know, it really does throw a wrench in, I think, both sides' sort of economic plans. But I guess a positive one for the team that ends up winning that round. But still, a solid bit of work for Aspect to get back into the mix here, setting up for defense in round 4, and a little bit of drone work there coming through from the Devour Esports side. We'll see if that's enough to suss out anyone on the bottom floor here, but no roamers for Aspect right now. No one on the hunt on the top floor, and maybe Aspect trying to change things up a little bit and slow things down and try and throw off this Devour Esports squad, who has been giving them a hard time at times, as finally the B site does get opened up, and pretty standard stuff so far coming in as they prep for their entry, likely up to that B wall to try and plant.
They actually do have Faded upstairs over on Aspect. They're currently in the pantry right now. LFT finding a kill on Jess. This is, again, a good start for Devour. They got their round starts down. They're able to pick up the kills that they need. It's just that as the round progresses, they start to lose kind of that momentum that they have, that they build up, and then it starts to create more problems for them. We see a breach onto the B hatches. Devour looking to change up the approach here. Solo is kind of in danger here, kind of stuck between the door outside the courtyard and the hatch into garage. So if Devour tries to rush storage, might not work out for Solo there. Sarcastic finding Fade as LFT takes out Gizmo. Solo's pressing that angle, tossing an instant, but Tire Tongue will find that kill. I Blame taking out Chosen, but LFT with that immediate refrag, and that worked out very well for Devour. I mean, we didn't see any kind of trace of what Aspect usually did there. They kind of just moved in over on Devour, and they took everybody down.
Nades came through and found successful picks and a good breach entry down in to get aggressive onto Solo in that corner. That corner, a real powerful one, and we see it do a lot of damage. You have cover of the team that once they enter in from the door, you have cover of the team once they enter in from the hatch, you have cover down the breach. It's a premium spot, and it's one that you should frankly expect to get blind fired like they did there as they push. Just assume someone's there when you make the entry, because it really is a power spot. And ultimately, the Devour Esports team showing that they're a squad that, you know, is fighting for this top 8 for a reason. They know their stuff. They know the map. Aspect certainly came out clean map 1, 7-2, But even there, fighting all the way through. You look at these scoreboards, you see kills coming in from Devour Esports consistently. This time, LFT standing out as the kill leader with 9 kills, almost into the double digits already. And we're going into round 5. So that's definitely an impressive first half for LFT. If the momentum can keep going for the Devour Esports squad, then we really could see a map 3 coming our way. But that is to be determined as we get into this 5th round.
We see LFT hanging just outside of Laundry right now. Faded tossing that frag as, wow, Tire Tongue timed that perfectly. Avoided the frag and took out both of those trip mines. Very nice movement there from Devour. Aspect, to say the least, definitely down in economy this round. They have 2 Spectrals. Just at the moment doesn't have anything. And Faded with that Vezin I blame finding the kill on LFT. Just again doesn't have any kind of weapon right now. Just running around. Oh, okay, picked up a Jesper as Philibus finds the kill on Solo. Devour just moving in here as we are on round 5 at the moment. Next round going to be that halftime round. So Aspect just kind of saving for the next round. We see foam on that kitchen wall. Here comes the breach. Sarcastic way in the back of Garage, looking to find a kill there. Philibus peeking, Tire Tongue peeking, everybody on Devour just peeking that same breach. Hopefully, they're keeping an eye on their flank before they get caught out.
Yeah, you do not want to let the Aspect squad pinch you like Jess just did. It isn't St. Patrick's Day. They aren't wearing green, and they do get the pinch coming through. It took a long way to get there, but we got there. Sarcastic World finds another, and we're into a 3-3 as the push comes in on to B site. The Chosen One and Tire Tongue full HP. Eyes in to the B site. Wall open and available for a plan. A Sarcastic Warlow gets the heal, and they've got a full health squad going up against the full health defense. Faded, I Blame, and Jess all ready and waiting inside B. And it really is a battle of the rifles here as the entry is going to come in with 50 seconds left.
Very nice kill from Faded onto Sarcastic. That's going to stop the plant. If Aspect can just hold off Devour for a little bit longer, that hero buy for Faded is definitely going to work out. Tire Tongue finds the kill on I Blame. As Faded picks up another one, it's just down to Tire Tongue. And how quickly Aspect turned the tides into their favor. We see Faded just still behind that kitchen island. Jess over in that connector as Tire Tongue looking to find a kill on Jess. Has to worry about Faded behind that kitchen island here.
15.
As 15 seconds left on the clock. And all Aspect really needs to do right now is just have somebody up there and play back. As Tire Tongue accidentally picking up a pistol, picking up pistols instead, decides to go for the salvage play, and that's very, very frustrating for Tire, who finds one, picks up the kill on Jess, looks to head back outside. You got a feel for Tire in that last second there.
Tire's looking for the last kill still. That is quite the aggressive save at the end, but it pays off. It does damage. At this point, with how close this is, damage done's needed because, look, Jess only able to buy into a shotgun. The full buy not available for Aspect, even off of that round win, because they had all died, because of the investments they have to make to get that round win. It ultimately costs a lot when you can't carry that investment through. And so Aspect definitely, well, we're pretty much even, as we would expect when you come down to a round 6 when it's coming up to a 3-3 potential for the first half of the map, with the same thing for Devour. Not able to full buy in, but getting that partial buy coming through. So partial buys for both squads. Ultimately, Aspect looking a little bit better off of their economy management and ultimately their 3-2 round lead. But if you are just tuning in, it is map number 2. Map 1 went 7-2 into Aspect's hands. Map 2 looking like it could be the end of the series if Aspect can continue the momentum here and push this 4-2 on the first half.
I think for Devour's sake, they need to pick up this round here and go into the second half with that tie, because from what we saw from Aspect's momentum in the on their attacking half in the previous match, it would be very, very dangerous if they could set that pace and just kind of close in on Devour really, really fast, like they did on Factory. We'll see what happens. Of course, in the second half, anything can happen. We have foam currently on the gym wall. Sites are gym and bar. Faded, I blame solo all over by bar at the moment, just kind of hanging around out there, waiting for some kind of push to come from Winestealer. Tire Tongue right outside of garage right now, just with that drone, as the push from Devour, once again, coming from this garage gym half of the map. They really like this side. They actually haven't tried anything over on the other side, which surprises me a bit. But on this site, Devour actually found quite a bit of success here. We see a dud. What was that? That looked like some kind of gun or a dud grenade tossed into the back of Site B from Devour. We have a frag tossed by Faded. That's not going to find anybody. Gizmo watching that angle. There goes one trip mine as Devour getting ready to possibly push in through that breach. They've got to be careful. Keep watching storage over there before Solo or Gizmo try and find a kill from that storage door. Sarcastic Warlow currently up in garage as Gizmo finding that kill on Chosen One. It's now a 4 versus 4 as Philippa finding Faded with a frag. Try saying that 5 times fast. We see Jess in Site B. Gizmo taking out Tire Tongue. Sarcastic with the refrag. It's now a 2 versus 3, and things are looking up for Aspect right now. Just down to Philibus and LFT. Philibus looking to rotate back out of that breach, and that static there's just creating a bunch of problems for Devour. They can't push in from storage either. We see Solo making their way. Anyone looking to fight 2, but LFT secures the refrag, and now I blame taking out LFT with that headshot. 4-2 lead heading into the second half as Aspect moving back on the offense. What is going to happen?
Phil just couldn't quite put it together there on the back half of that round. LFT. Phil goes down trying to push forward. LFT trying to clutch that up. And, the 1-2-3 is what they needed. It can happen. It's what you're looking for on that clutch moment there. But, yeah, 4-2 for Aspect. We swap sides, reset economy, and go into another pistol round for round 7. I gotta wonder if Devour Esports are maybe wishing they just had that 5th in the rotation, had that solid rostered player here, because they're fighting Aspect tooth and nail. There's no easy rounds coming through. And sarcastic, this isn't to say a dig at all at Sarcastic Warlow, but just the fact that they would, have the regular sort of practiced team, the team that you play regularly with, that enables you to be a little bit more effective than you are with a player that you haven't been consistently playing with. Sarcastic Warlow is 4-4. They're playing well. They're fighting hard. They're doing their job in this series as a sub through and through. LFT is the one that's trying to carry on Devour Esports with 10 kills on the round. No one else in double digits, not even on Aspect.
Yeah, and again, Nightfire makes a very, very excellent point here. I mean, no dig at the league subs, but when you have 5 rostered players on a team, those are 5 players that go through all the practices, all the scrims. They kind of know the playbook. Sarcastic has played with them before, but I mean, a substitute doesn't have the same grasp on how a team plays as the players do. As Philibus taking out I Blame, we see that EMP planted by Solo. Aspect on the move with a very, very early plant, and that double instant there covering the ground so that Devour couldn't push up. Sarcastic on 1, Philibus on 5, Tire Tongue on 12, and I think if somebody sneezed, it would kill all 3 of them. Gizmo finding Philibus. Chosen One takes out Solo. Gizmo with a double kill, and it's now just down to a 2 versus 3. Tire Tongue on 12, Chosen One on 23. There's 30 seconds left on the clock, and before I could even finish my little moniker about league substitutes, they already had that EMP planted. Gizmo moving into family room as Tire Tongue is taken out by Gizmo. Chosen One finding the refag and Faded, closing things out with that headshot on Chosen One. We see Aspect on round 5. It's starting to look a little bit dangerous for Devour. They can't give up any more rounds in this game.
Oh, man. You just, I know it's... I just had a holiday song coming to mind. It was starting to look a little bit, and I was like, oh, it is starting to look a little bit like Christmas. We're getting into the holiday season already. my mind's going into the holidays, but we're not there by any means. We still got Thanksgiving. No, people are already putting up lights around me, Gib. It's already happening.
No, yeah, I've seen it too.
I saw some sort of petition for getting the Christmas tree up at the start of the month, like the first day of the month. As soon as Halloween's over, the tree goes up. I know people that do that. They love it. I mean, hey, it's the holidays. Some people enjoy the holiday season more than others, and it's a little excessive. I think if you're putting the tree up before Halloween, then we got some problems. But yeah, just I don't know. The holiday season on the mind, not on the mind for the Devour Esports squad, as they got to focus up here and try and put some rounds on the board in order to push this to a map 3, because otherwise the series is done in 2.
I blame taking out Filibustin. Oh my goodness, Sarcastic with a double frag there. Gizmo taking out Sarcastic. Warlow. Tire Tongue is taken out by Faded. An Aspect on the move here. Faded taking out Tire Tongue. LFT dropping 2 with the Omen. Looking to pick up a third, but Faded picks up that instead, and Chosen One finds the kill on Faded. And to your point, I think there's a serious problem if someone you know is putting up a Halloween tree in the holiday season.
Yeah, it's quite something. That round was quite something. Devour Esports off of a. Again, it's I guess exactly what happened at the start of this round. We go 1-1 off of the reset. They come back off of losing the pistol round. Something you just don't see happen a lot. It really takes a unique play like we saw. I think that was like a martyrdom play, if you're familiar with the Call of Duty term, where when you get shot, you drop a grenade. It was an old perk, but I think he was holding a grenade, and when they got shot and died, the grenade dropped, and then it detonated and killed 2 there, or it was thrown just before they went down, and it catches 2. But regardless, the big nade comes in off of again an eco round, shuts down the investment from the Aspect squad, and Devour Esports maybe right back into this one. They just need to lock in the defense here. From here on out, they cannot. I guess they could allow one more round to go, and they can tie the map and push it to a map 3. But you really want to push that opportunity to win the map and then go to the map 3. And so they can't allow any more rounds if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, if they tie it up and they go to the third map, the best they can hope to do is tie the whole series. So Devour I mean, they can still win this game. It's still possible for them to win. If Aspect wins this round, then it will not be possible for Devour to win this anymore. All they can do is tie it up. Jess finding a very early kill on LFT. The last time this play was tried here, it worked out very well for Aspect. It's going again. We see a frag toss. That's going to tag Solo a bit. 2 frags there, as Solo looking to get that foam down on the bathroom wall. And a very good start again from Aspect. You can tell that this team has practiced this push many times because they're able to execute it so well. Jess dropping 2 as Iblim takes out Sarcastic Warlow. It's up to Chosen One to 1v5 this. Finds one on Gizmo. Looking to pick up another. I mean, Chosen One's going to have to 1v5 this and go for that defuse. I mean, never say never, you know, but it's definitely looking tough for Devour Esports right now. There's the 30-second warning, and I think Aspect knows all they need to do, play back as Faded, finding some lucky shots there onto Chosen One. Chosen One pushing up, finding the kill on Faded as Jess taking out Chosen One. And there it is, match point from Aspect. One more, and they will win our whole series game for tonight.
It'll also go into the hands of the Connoisseur Votes, a system that we have on the VRML website, which if you don't know is VRML.com. A new article there if you're new to the league about how to join, how to participate in the variety of leagues that we do support. But you go to VRML.com, you create an account, you go to the website, you see all of the matches that are going to get played over the course of a week, and you vote on who you think is going to win or lose. It's called the Connoisseur system, and ultimately at the end of the season, we like to shout out the top connoisseurs. Sometimes there's prizing involved, sometimes there's not, but it is more so a badge of honor to have a high connoisseur ranking and really know and understand the teams. You know, I think Phil really holds his connoisseur ranking in high regard because I think it's a pretty decent percentage. I don't know what it is now after I think his last prediction was wrong with Eternity, but It's something that I do know a lot of folks invest in and want to have a solid percentage on. And it's a fun little system that we include on the website, so go check that out. We also have a system where you can vote on what matches you want to see cast throughout the week. You just hit that yellow up arrow if you want to see a match cast, and it helps us as the casting desk know maybe which matches the audience is interested in watching. It doesn't mean the game will get cast, but it's this little system we have as we get in to this action right now with a kill already coming through from Faded and Sarcastico throwing a nade in, backing them off. The Omen comes through around the corner. The partial buy here in full effect because, frankly, Devour can't afford to lay some cash on the line. They have to spend it all here to try and put rounds on the board. 3 need to get locked in. The EMP already down. Aspect, true to their pace, have just flown in, and they are so fast, Gib.
I'm like losing my sense of what's happening here in the round. Sarcastic is going to try and stick that defuse, but gets taken out by iBlame. Gets 1 charge down, which may be crucial here. We see iBlame dropping 3. Oh my goodness, what a triple kill. And just as soon as it starts, the round is over, and Aspect will win this whole series here. And what a game we saw from them today. They were just on point here. I mean, yeah, just incredibly fast every single round. They were on offense, getting that EMP planted within the first 30 seconds, and that just threw everybody off. That threw me off. It was definitely fun to watch them.
It's a new look at pacing in a lot of ways. I mean, some teams do go for this, but I mean, even on pistol rounds, it's just be flying in, plant going down in the first 15 seconds. I mean, it's really, the game enables it. You're right there by the objective, and a lot of you just have to go towards it and get there fast enough. And Aspect definitely sprinting to their victory there. 7-2 map 1 on Factory, 7-3 map 2 on Hideout, and a hard-fought effort from Devour Esports, a team that's had some roster shakeups and ultimately plays pretty well there on that second map as well. Sobrash coming in with 12 kills on the round there, so a big fight from Devour, and a team that I think just needs that extra 5th in the lobby to really get them to be able to fight against these top 8 teams, because it's thick with competition. We were just talking about it before the stream. It's like who knows who's gonna win a match? You know, like Aspect's beaten Wicked and Acer and Eternity, but they've also lost 3 games already this season. You know, so it's it's really just ultimately very competitive at the top of the league.
Yeah, I mean, it is, you know, something that to really note is that nobody at the top is really safe. Teams can lose. Teams can lose. I mean, we saw Acer. Acer looks like, you know, towards the beginning of the season, it looked like they were immortal, that they couldn't be beaten. But Aspect beat them, and Aspect beat Eternity, which looked also very, very solid. So anything can happen. Teams can beat, you know. Yeah, we could see something crazy. Like last week, I casted Devour, the same team, versus Infinity, another top 10 team. Infinity, they tied that match. That was like 86-1 in favor of Infinity. So I mean, it was a great fight tonight from Devour, but ultimately, they could probably use some more practice. Again, need a 5th roster player. They actually picked up 2 more players on Devour. So next week, let's see if they can show up and start challenging some more teams with some more of these players. But I think for now, that's going to do it.
Yeah, a quick shout out to everyone that has been contributing and donating into the YouTube channel. Those have been ticking across the bottom of the screen. We really do appreciate that support. It goes back to the VRML and helps keeps the lights on with all website operations, league infrastructure, stuff like that. It does have a cost to it, and we do appreciate the support at the end of the day from anyone that does contribute into that system there through YouTube. Also, if you can't contribute, please do subscribe. It's free and easy to do, and it helps us with growing those metrics and in supporting the channel, and brings you back for more VRML action, which there is guaranteed to be, Bob. There might even be another game live right now with Martini casting a match, so we'll have to see if that match is still going. If that's going into its map 3, I don't know, but go over there if it is, and tune into that. It's right here on this same YouTube channel. Just go to the live section, and you'll see that match live, or if not, you can go back and watch the VOD, which is also right there on the YouTube channel. So we appreciate the support. If you can support us, and if not, well, thanks for stopping by and enjoying the action today. It has been an exciting one. That'll be it for us, though, as we do have to sign off here. My name is Ben, Nightfire02. He's my co-caster, Gibular Bob. We'll see you all probably later this weekend for more action, so tune in then. But until then, stay classy. Reacher's VRML is brought to you by Triangle Factory, HyperX, ProTube VR, VR Cover. Thanks for watching VRML.